Welcome to the first bootcamp tutorial in how to shoot. In this one we're talking camera angles, how and when to use them and when not to use them. As soon as I learned how my camera actually worked, one of the hardest things for me was to know how to actually point the camera, how far away I should be and from what angle to shoot from. Now, to be completely honest, I don't think about every shot I take and what it means, because I don't make big blockbuster movies. However, even though I don't care too much about if I tell a story with my camera angles, knowing about all of this can help me avoid making the wrong choice. So, a camera angle is exactly what it sounds like. Whenever you tilt the camera up, down or to the side and combine that with different heights, you get a camera angle. So let's start off with the first one, and even though this is not technically a camera angle, it deserves to be on the list, and this is eye level. This is when, well, the camera is at eye level, and we use this whenever we want our shots to be neutral and when we don't want to say anything with our camera. This is the most natural way to look at something from our own perspective, for example when we talk to another person.
But there are very few Swiss laws which apply to your practices.
From a financial standpoint, you are now in heaven.
So what if we tilt the camera upwards? That is when we get a low angle. We use the low angle when we want someone or something to appear big or powerful or in control of the situation. And this can be subtle or exaggerated depending on how much of the effect you want. If we instead tilt the camera down, you guessed it, that's when we get the high angle. And this is used when we want to create the opposite effect from the low angle, making someone feel small or weak or not in control. Both the high and low angle can be used together in, let's say, a conversation to establish who is in control of the conversation. Now, if we instead tilt the camera to the side, we get something called the Dutch angle. And this is not used a lot in commercials or Hollywood for that matter, because it's a special one. The Dutch angle is used whenever you want to show that something is a bit wrong, like whatever is going on isn't really balanced. Therefore, it's important to know about this so you don't use the Dutch angle by mistake in, let's say, a corporate interview. Think about it like this. We watch the world going on through our eyes that are usually leveled, meaning that our head and our body is straight. Now imagine that you get into a room where the walls and the floor are sort of crooked and it's not leveled. You might not notice exactly what it is, but you will feel that something is wrong, and that is exactly what we can achieve with the Dutch angle. So again, be careful when using the Dutch angle. Then we have a few more shots that isn't really angles because there's no tilt to the camera, but they still need to be on the list. So the first one is OTS, or over the shoulder. This is a perfect way to keep your character in the frame while focusing on something else, like another person or the environment or an object.
The worst end.
Those mob fools want you gone so they can get back to the way things were. But I know the truth. There's no going back.
Then we have a ground level shot where our camera is really low, and we can use this for multiple reasons. We can use it to track someone's feet before revealing who the person is, we can build tension with it, and of course we can just use it to capture something on the ground. Then you have the cowboy shot and the knee level shot, but to be honest, like, why? I mean, I've been doing this for 6 years and no one has told me, hey Felix, let's get a cowboy shot or a knee level shot. Just say film from the knees and calm down. Another super cool angle that I've always wanted to try is to mount the camera on an object that is used in your shot. This can be a car, it can be a gun, it can be a spatula, I don't know, but the thing is, it's pretty unusual and it looks very cool. I can't believe I haven't used it yet, but someday I will.
We all have our secrets.
So like I mentioned before, we can keep the camera angles subtle or we can take them to the extreme. For example, a drone shot with the camera tilting 90 degrees down, that's an extreme version of the high angle. Now again, if you don't make big Hollywood films, I wouldn't worry too much about this. Whenever I shoot, I just pick the best looking angle and I stick to that, unless I know for sure that it will convey the wrong mood. There are so many things that we use to tell stories and convey moods in our films, so if you do a little bit of a mess up on the camera angle, it won't completely ruin your film. For example, in a horror film, if there's an unpleasant music track combined with a jump scare, I'll probably be shit scared even though the camera is shooting from above. And with everything in creativity, there's no one way to do it, but it's always good to know your options so you can put the best ones together for maximum impact. Now, this is the first episode in the shooting part of this whole bootcamp series, so that's why I won't include any way to practice yet. We'll get to that when we know a bit more. So for now, I just hope that you enjoyed this episode, and if you have any questions, just leave them in the comments or ask away in the Facebook group, and I will see you in the next one.